What if one man quietly saved the entire history of Jamaican music from being forgotten? A man who didn't sing, didn't DJ, and never topped the charts. Yet without him, countless reggae classics might have disappeared forever. That man was Steve Barrow, the British reggae archivist, historian, compiler, and co-founder of the legendary Blood and Fire label. On May 30th, 2026, at the age of 80, Steve Barrow passed away peacefully at his home in Weston-super-Mare, England. The news sent shockwaves through the global reggae community. How did a white Englishman from Britain become one of the most respected guardians of Jamaican musical heritage? What battles did he fight in his final years? Who was the family that stood beside this quiet giant? And what properties and priceless archives did he leave behind? This is the powerful, emotional story of Steve Barrow, the man who preserved reggae for generations, the quiet beginning of a reggae obsession. Born on September 29, 1945 in Britain, Steve Barrow's love affair with Jamaican music began in the late 1960s and early 1970s. Like many young Brits at the time, he discovered reggae through the underground sound systems and record shops in London. But while most fans simply enjoyed the music, Steve became obsessed with documenting it. Working at Honest John's record shop in London, he immersed himself in the culture. He met fellow enthusiast Peter Dalton, and together they would later co-author the groundbreaking Rough Guide to Reggae, a Bible for fans and scholars alike. Steve's deep knowledge quickly made him a go-to expert. Island Records hired him as a freelance compiler, where he worked on influential reissue projects that introduced classic Jamaican music to new audiences worldwide. But his biggest mark came in 1993 when he co-founded Blood and Fire Records with Mick Hucknall, lead singer of Simply Red. The label became legendary for its high-quality reissues of rare and classic reggae, dub, and roots music. Releases featuring artists like King Tubby, Lee Scratch Perry, and Horace Andy brought forgotten gems back to life with impeccable sound quality and detailed liner notes written by Steve himself. Steve didn't just sell records, he preserved history, many in the industry would later say. A life dedicated to preservation. Over decades, Steve Barrow worked tirelessly as a historiographer, journalist, curator, writer, promoter, and sound system operator. He compiled box sets like the iconic Tougher Than Tough, the story of Jamaican music, wrote extensive liner notes, and contributed to major documentaries. His work with Chris Blackwell's Jamaican Reggae Archive project helped safeguard priceless recordings and artifacts. Steve's passion extended beyond reggae to jazz, soul, mento, and calypso. He was known for his incredible memory and attention to detail, able to rattle off the history of any rhythm or artist with precision. Even in his later years, despite health challenges, he continued mentoring young researchers and supporting reissue projects. His dedication earned him respect not just from fans, but from Jamaican legends themselves. The battle with emphysema, cause of death. In his final years, Steve Barrow faced a tough health battle with emphysema, a progressive lung disease that severely affected his breathing. Those close to him noted that he had been unwell for some time, but remained mentally sharp and passionate about music until the end. He passed away peacefully on May 30th, 2026, at his home in Weston-super-Mare. News of his death spread rapidly, with tributes pouring in from across the globe. At 80 years old, Steve had lived a full life immersed in the music he loved. Emotional tributes from the reggae world. The outpouring of love was immediate and heartfelt. Adrian Sherwood, legendary producer, described Steve as a dear friend and one of the few people who truly understood Jamaican music in all its forms. Ray Hurford, Reggae Vibes, shared personal memories of their long friendship, calling Steve a giant in reggae documentation. Jamaican media, including the Jamaica Observer, paid tribute to him as a respected British musicologist whose work helped tell the story of Jamaican music to the world. On social media and forums like Reddit's r/reggae, fans shared how Blood and Fire releases and Steve's books opened their eyes to the depth of reggae. Many called him the archivist who saved reggae history. Even artists and producers who never met him personally expressed gratitude, noting that without Steve Barrow, entire catalogues of classic music might have been lost to time. Wife, children, and the family behind the legend. While Steve Barrow lived much of his public life focused on music, he was also a devoted family man. He is survived by his wife and children, who remained a source of strength and privacy throughout his career. His family largely stayed out of the spotlight, supporting him quietly as he traveled, researched, and built his massive archive. In interviews over the years, Steve occasionally spoke of how his wife's understanding and patience allowed him to pursue his passion deeply. His children grew up surrounded by records, stories of Jamaica, and a father who was always chasing the next rare pressing or historical fact. Those close to the family describe a warm, intellectually rich household where music was constant. In his final days, his wife and children were by his side, providing comfort as emphysema took its toll. Properties and the incredible legacy. Left behind, Steve Barrow's most valuable properties weren't traditional real estate. They were his vast music archives, record collections, books, and unpublished research materials. Over decades, he amassed one of the most comprehensive private collections of reggae history in the world. He owned a comfortable home in Weston-super-Mare, where he spent his later years. Reports suggest his family will now manage the enormous task of preserving and potentially donating parts of his archive to institutions or making it available to future researchers. His co-founding of Blood and Fire Records also leaves behind a catalogue that continues to generate royalties and educate new generations. The label's commitment to quality reissues set a standard that influenced countless other imprints. Steve's books, liner notes, and compiled releases remain essential resources. His work ensures that the stories of King Tubby, Augustus Pablo, and countless others will never be forgotten. A lasting impact on reggae and beyond. Steve Barrow proved that you don't need to be on stage to change music history. Through scholarship, curation, and sheer passion, he became one of the most important figures in reggae's global story. In an era where digital streaming can make music feel disposable, Steve reminded everyone of the importance of context, history, and preservation. He built bridges between Britain and Jamaica, between past and present, and between artists and fans. Without him, a significant portion of the music would be poorly documented, badly distributed, and in some cases, simply lost. One tribute accurately stated. As the reggae world mourns, Steve Barrow's spirit lives on every time someone discovers a classic track through a Blood and Fire release or picks up The Rough Guide to Reggae. Rest in power, Steve Barrow. Your work will echo through every rhythm, every dubplate, and every new generation that falls in love with reggae. The archives are safe, the history is preserved, and the music, thanks to you, will live forever.